Hi guys, welcome to the third devlog for Untitled MMORPG. So, it's been about a week since I've made an update video, because whenever I worked on this this past Monday and forward, I started encountering a lot of problems. I was basically continuing to transfer everything over from the single player project to the multiplayer, and trying to use that code base that already existed, my code base, for like an XP controller and leveling system. It works beautifully in single player. Um, However, it doesn't translate well into multiplayer networking code bases. Things don't work the way you expect them to, things can't get set up the right way, just a lot of issues. So like this entire past week has basically been me going back and forth on, let's just convert it to a single player game, it's going to be easier, and then switching back to, but it doesn't really work in single player, and I already have gotten this far, let's stick with multiplayer, and literally going back and forth on that for till today. And hopefully we'll stick with multiplayer. So an important thing I learned at this point is literally, if you're developing an MMORPG or an online game, start with a fresh code base, as much as it could be. For the most part, the functionality things are the same. However, how I'm handling the data, how I'm storing it, how I'm setting it is all very, very different. Very different to match a nice workflow for multiplayer networking games. So I had to take a step back, rewrite a lot of stuff to work with networking, and basically just go full force into networking code, saying, screw it, let's not make our code work in single player as well. Let's just literally get it working online, because we are making an online game. And so I think once I've come to terms with that, it's made it a lot easier development-wise. Because they're two very, very different workflows and ideas that it's really, really hard to make code that works both in single player and multiplayer and having it be able to be separable at will. It's really not easy. So what do we have now? We have an inventory system with a tooltip and they're usable, along with great use of an important concept I've also learned throughout this is figuring out more of the process of what's the purpose of the client and what's the purpose of the server. For the most part, it seems just literally in terms of, it's hard to explain it when you're not in the depths of the code and the project and trying to make it easy for you guys to understand. The client is mainly a visual representation of the game. It can't say, hey, give my player 5 health, give my client 5 health, it has to say, okay, I have this server verified object that tells me that I want to restore that when I eat it, when I use the item, I will send to you, the server, verifiably that I want to use this item and I want to restore 5 health to my player. The client cannot do anything regarding the player's health. He has to go to the server and say, hey, I've got something here that's telling me I can restore 5 health. Can you verify it along with my verification purposes and give my player 5 health for me? It's a very interesting concept that I'm just now starting to wrap my head around, which is pretty cool. So along with the inventory system, I've got just better, I can have 2 clients running and attacking, and their health and stats will sync up. And I've got a leveling system in place, I've got an XP system, I've got ever-evolving powers for, if their strength goes up, they're going to do more damage. Finally, looking somewhere to having a base system implemented, which seems to be working for the most part. So, in that regard, I will show you what I've got. What do I actually have going on? I need to open up the server. This is gonna tell me it's waiting too long. So I gotta start up the server first. Yep, see, it gave up. I just gotta get the server started. That's the other important thing I'm gonna say real quick, is I've got rid of hosting. I'm no longer developing for a hosting environment, as in a player cannot host a server, at least in terms of, a player can't host a server. So you have your server running, and then you have your clients connecting to those servers. No player can be the server himself. It's just another thing where, trying to work for an edge case that, at least in most MMORPGs, will never exist. So, let's connect as a client. We have connected. You can see we've got our health, we've got strength in its stats, and everything pertaining to it. If I press I can open up my inventory. Let's just leave that open for now. And let's attack the goblin. And you can see I leveled up. I'm now level 2 strength, total XP required for the next level, and remaining XP till the next level. Let's go ahead and pick up our meat. Little bug there. So what happens is I only refresh the UI when I open it. So there we go. And meat slab restores 4 health. Alright, let's go ahead and get another client going. Let's get him into the world. There he is. Hello. So, little bug there we noticed. It acted like he gained a level. He shouldn't have. I will have to look into that. So, we do see, though, this new client entered, and the other player's health is at 9. We can verify that on his client himself. 9 health here. The reason I'm making such a big deal about that is I was having some issues where if the player was at 9 health here, and then a new client entered afterwards, he would show up on this side. Say left side had 9 health, right side connects, it will show the left side character's health at 10 on the right side. Confusing, I know. Welcome to networking. And so you can see as well, he's going to level up, and we can see it on the other screen as well. It's pretty cool. Same thing with eating food. You can see he gains health. Really cool. So that's what I've got. I mean, that's literally a core system right there. I just need to add more goblins, fix the curves, because right now the curves and damage and health values all basically just are in a state to where I can use functionality and experience the game and its logic in the easiest sense. So what's next? What's next is maybe an equipment system, or I'm going to do what I'm originally planned on doing is having this really, not bare bones, however, having this very simple system in place which basically makes it a full game to where, you know, I mean, eventually, maybe, hopefully, I'm going to add ranged and magic and whatever else. But I'm just right now getting strength and health working and getting combat, and then I'm going to balance around that, and then that's it. Once we reach that point, try and create a level per se, to where people can, you know, just play the game and feel like it's a game, and then expand upon it is the idea. So that's what I've got. It's amazing progress from where I was a week ago. It's not necessarily connected by spaghetti code and loose strings. However, there is much room for improvement in my code and editor functionality. However, we know what's going on. We know what would need to be changed. We just got to figure out how. So that's what I've got. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow or the next time I work on this project, which should be soon. We love working on it. So we'll catch you next time. Bye, guys.